right. Good morning and welcome to Run Good Lifestyle. And today I'm talking about a couple topics that are really important to me. And I try to incorporate both of these things into my life daily. And we're talking about grounding and breath work. And I first started grounding approximately 2 years ago. I was actually out in Sedona and I was hiking and very active when I was in Sedona. I mean, I don't know if anybody's ever been there, but it's absolutely stunning. There's just a lot of energy and it's just awesome. So out there hiking, and I was out there for that year. I was out there a super long time. I was almost just under 2 weeks. And I was about the 5th day in, and every morning I would wake up and I was sore as crap. And I finally, I saw this one gentleman every morning walking barefoot. He was, I don't know, probably about 80. And he would just sit in his chair after walking barefoot, sit there barefooted and just, he would soak up the sun, which, if you've listened to any of my other content, that is another big thing that I do. Is the morning sun is obviously very important to me also. So anyway, fifth day, he saw me. I walked by him. I walk by him every day because I had to go to the shower room. Was past his place, and he's like, "Hey, young man, come over here." So I went over and I was like, "Hey, I see you walking barefoot all the time." I said, I don't really. My feet are so sensitive, I can't really walk barefoot. He said, "Is there a reason why that?" I said, "Oh yeah, I ground every morning." I'm like, ground? I didn't understand what he meant. And he goes, "Yeah, I mean, I'm here 3 months of the year and I hike every day. And, I found that my joints couldn't take it the older I got. And so I started grounding. And I'm like, oh, wow. So tell me more. And so he explained the fact what grounding is. And basically grounding is just having direct physical contact with the earth's surface. And that means walking barefoot and, they actually make grounding sheets now that I have. But walking barefoot, sitting on the ground, literally just sitting on the ground. And even they say walking on concrete is also grounding, but not on asphalt. So that's what grounding is. And there's all types of ways to ground, and they actually now make, like I said, they make grounding sheets. When I drive across country, I use a grounding pad that I sit on, and so I put it on my back, and it just really helps with a lot of things we're going to discuss. But basically, the science behind it, the Earth's surface is just full of negative electrons, and the electrons in we're electrical beings, and it helps with your anti-inflammatory system. I mean, it's a chronic it reduces chronic inflammation. And to finish my story, I started doing this every morning when I was in Sedona after talking to this older gentleman, and I noticed about day 3 of doing the grounding, I was waking up and I'd go every morning and I'd walk. There was actually a little river there that I'd go down and put my feet in it and just sit there for 30 minutes and get the morning sunlight that I like. And after about 3 or 4 days, I started noticing the knee pain that I had. I mean, from playing basketball my whole life and all the other sports as a youngster, your joints just start to deteriorate. And I felt better. I was like, holy cow, this stuff, I don't know if it was in my mind or not. So Fast forward a few other days, I went 3 days without grounding, and I was still hiking. And I woke up that fourth day, and I'm like, "Damn, I'm sore. Why are my joints hurt?" And the light bulb went off. I hadn't been grounding. I haven't been taking that 30 minutes every day to put my feet on the earth's surface and feel that energy and that those electrons, those negative electrons. You know, there's three things that I think that it really scientifically they've shown that it reduces chronic inflammation, it helps with stress, and whenever you're reducing stress, it's going to help you sleep, and it improves blood viscosity, and that's a big one. And for people that don't know what that is, basically it helps thin your blood. Your blood has negative reactions, and when it moves through your body, it gets, some blood gets sticky, and they're losing those negative. They should be like a magnet to when you get two magnets on the opposite side, two negative magnets, they just like force each other apart. And that's what your blood goes through your veins like that. And the stickier those things get together, that's where you get the heart issues, heart disease, stroke, those kind of things. When you can thin that blood naturally, which what grounding does, it fires those negative electrons into your blood system, and it lets your body, or lets your blood go through your veins more easily. Obviously, they're not sticking together, so that's a huge factor in grounding. But for me, the immediate effect that I had was the chronic inflammation in my knees, my joints, from when I was hiking every day. It just subsided. So how I do it, what I do, and I just gave you the reason why I do it. The morning is my time for grounding. It's my time for breath work. It's my time for morning sun. It's just the way to start my day in the most positive mentally, the most positive physically, and obviously hydration. Those are we've already talked about my hydration routine. So basically, when I take Brutus out, my dog, I'm walking barefoot through the grass and try to spend at least 30 minutes every morning connected with the earth, with my feet. The greatest, when I was really feeling my best, I was down by the beach every morning, walking on the beach in the water. And man, I don't know about you, but whenever I do that, whenever I look back of those times, even when I was a kid, when I go to the beach and I was barefoot on the beach, walking in the sand, walking in that water, I felt better. I don't know. I always thought it was more of a mental thing, but now with all the science behind the negative electrons going through your system and what it does for your body, I'm a believer in that it's real. And so, anytime that I can get near water and ground with the earth, with water, it just seems like it amplifies those effects for me. And also the water is a little bit cooler, and those always have when you have like ice, that's an anti-inflammatory situation too. So it's really important. And when you get your day started like that in the morning and you're able to, feel the effects after a few days, it's life-changing. And it has changed my life for the better. And that brings me on to the next topic, which is about breath work. So after I do my morning, I call them exercises, but they're just really movements and stretches. right after that, I do my breath work, and I have incorporated more breath work throughout the day. We're going to talk a little bit about that, but um, along with the other stuff that I do, I feel like every little bit that you help your body move oxygen through your body, you're going to be better off physically, mentally, mental clarity, and it relieves stress. And anytime you can relieve stress, you're lowering your lowering your blood pressure, and you're making your body feel better. And once you start doing it, I guarantee you, it's almost I'm not saying I'm obsessed with it, but throughout the day, breath work has really, we'll say it's consumed me, but I think about it a lot. And I think about it because throughout the day, you go through different situations in your life, some stressful, some happy, some sad, and it's just, whenever you can go back to that breath, and I'm not trying to get too into the meditation part of it, but that's really what it is for me. And they're just little meditation breaks, and you take 20,000 breaths a day, and probably 80% of those breaths are suboptimal. And what I mean by suboptimal, it's just, you do it automatically, you don't think about it, you're not really moving oxygen efficiently. You're just letting it naturally happen, and that's me. I do this, I do it, and I consider myself pretty aware of those situations. So I try to change that. I started out obviously only doing morning breath work, and the morning breath work, after my workout, I would do I started off doing 3 sets of 5 breaths, with the 5th one being held for as long as possible. And then I would take, after those 5 breaths, I would take a break, because when I first started, I would get lightheaded. I'd get super lightheaded, and a couple times thought I was going to pass out, because the inhale is so, it's super dramatic, as obnoxious of an inhale as you can do. I look like a crazy man when I'm out in public. I know people are like, what in the hell is this guy doing? But obnoxious inhales in and then out through a straw. I did that 5 times. I do 5 of those breaths and then rest. Do that 3 times. Now I'm up to 15 breaths like that 3 times. And my goal is to get to 30 breaths. I don't want to overdo it, but when I miss doing those breath work, I just, like, I don't know. I don't know if it's become mental, but it's almost like a drug for me. I almost need it. And so anyway, that's my morning routine. I'm up to 15 breaths. Like I said, obnoxious inhales through the nose, pursed lips, like you're breathing out through a straw, and do that, like it would start off with 5, then I went to 10, now I'm at 15, and I do that 3 times, 15 breath sets of 3. So, and I found out, like, in the mornings, that just wakes up my system with all the other stuff that I'm doing. I say all that other stuff, all this stuff. When I wake up in the morning, it takes almost an hour to maybe an hour and a half, depending how I'm really, into it. Sometimes I get sidetracked, and it maybe an hour and a half max is what it takes me. And it seems like it's a lot. I wake up, I hydrate, I do my movement, stretches, exercises, whatever you want to call it. I do my grounding, and then I do my breath work. So 30 minutes of that is the grounding outside, getting the morning sunlight, which is important. Once you do those things, you've started your day that way, I promise you, if you give yourself 10 days doing that, it'll change your life. Changed mine. So anyway, I started thinking about and really diving into other breathwork opportunities, and the Navy SEALs do the box breath work. And I'm not going to compare myself to a Navy SEAL, but I will say that you don't have to be a Navy SEAL to make yourself feel better and do the things that are, there's a reason why these people are doing the breath work, because it works, and they wouldn't be wasting the time with a Navy SEAL with these types of techniques if they weren't effective. So box breath work is, and I do this in the afternoons, and I do it if I'm feeling stressed. I did it before I actually came on this podcast because it helps calm me a little bit. So the box breath work is basically 4 seconds breathing in. You breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold that for 4 seconds. You breathe out for 4 seconds, you hold that out breath for 4 seconds. And you do that. I mean, I do it. I try to do it 5 to 6 times, which that's just about enough for me. But everybody has to do, everybody really can figure out what works for them. And what I found is that it really does calm me, and it's sort of, if you can do it with purpose and with attention, I guess is a better term. When you can do it with attention and just really block things out and give it, those 3 or 4 or 5 breaths you're taking, take maybe 20, 30, 40 seconds. I don't know. I haven't really timed it, but it doesn't take long. And it's really an opportunity just to sit and pay attention to how you feel, how your body feels. And it just sort of brings yourself inward. And honestly, that's the only way to heal yourself is inwardly. So that's my afternoon breath work. And so then I decided, well, if there's a morning, there's an afternoon, there has to be an evening breath work. And of course it is. And I don't know the name of this one. And I really don't know the name of the first morning one either, but it's more of a, when you're lying down in bed, before I go to bed, I try to calm my nervous system and get those cortisol levels, correctly so I can sleep. And there's a lot of, I've done, if you've watched any of my other content, when I started this journey, I was trying to really better myself with these type of techniques to help me play more optimal at the poker table. And sleep was a big issue for me, and I still struggle with some of these sleep issues, but I have curtailed these issues immensely. Now, when I started this, I was not partaking in alcohol, which now I still occasionally drink, and I am 100% convinced that deleting alcohol, if you have major sleeping issues and you drink any alcohol, I don't care if it's 1, 2, 3 beers or 1, 2 drinks, whatever your drink of choice is, it makes a huge difference, and you won't convince me otherwise. But even if you do drink, I'm good news. You can still do this work, and not that I'm promoting drinking, but I still find that these techniques that I'm doing to help me, be more healthy and help me sleep better, they work, but I still don't get the sleep that I do when I don't drink alcohol. So, all right. So that being said, basically now the evening is basically 4 breaths out, or I'm sorry, big breath in for 4 seconds, And when I release that breath, I let it out for 8 seconds. So whatever the amount of time you're breathing in, you can do it 3 and 6. But whatever that you want to double your out breath, or whatever you call that, to double the time that you're inhaling, exhaling. There we go. So you're inhaling for 4 seconds. That's what I do. And then I exhale for 8 seconds. And then I try to hold it for a few seconds. I don't know that's that important, but the most important thing is doubling your exhale to your inhale. And that just gives your body the release of safety, feeling safe. Those cortisol levels drop. It's really amazing how that how that really relaxes the body, and that's what you're trying to do. And again, it's all about attention. I mean, I told this to a few people that they tried and said, this is stupid. It doesn't work for me. I'm not into that stuff. And that's great. I mean, I'm not here to tell people they have to do this or should do this, or it's something that if you don't do this, you're going to die. I'm telling you that it works for me. And I guarantee if you put the attention into it and give yourself time to practice it, trying it for 2 days and saying it doesn't work tells me that you weren't really participating in the being present part of it. Because if you're not going to be present, none of the stuff is really helpful. Well, that's not true. If you walk barefoot, you're going to, even if you don't even have to be present, it just naturally does it. So the grounding outside, you don't even have to be present. It just automatically happens. I can't stress that enough. So yeah, but the breathing part is definitely, a situation where you only need to be present for the 4 seconds, 8 seconds of each breath, in between, let your mind wander. But when you're doing the breaths, inhale, exhale, be present, feel it, see what it's doing to your body, watch your body relax, watch your heart rate go down once, this heart rate variability, HRV, it's a big topic. I don't want to get involved in really talking about the details about it, because one, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not 100% convinced they know exactly. It's fairly new, and it's more about what the elite athletes were trying to figure out if it was beneficial to have a high, low, whatever. And I think they're still the jury's still out if there are good markers for that. So, but anyway, it does help with that, whatever that is. Back to the evening. So once you've done that, and I try to do that like 5 or 6 times, and I don't really have a set time. I just know now, after doing it for so long, once I get in that feeling where my body's relaxed, I mean, I can just tell. So I think that comes with over time, and everybody, when I've talked to people that do it and are with me, agree that it's life-changing for them. They have different feelings. So it's really all about being present and having whatever you feel, you'll feel it once you do it and practice it and be present. There's one other breath work technique it's really cool. I don't do it every day, but I will say probably 4 days a week I'll do it. And it's basically what I don't know if this is the term for it, but it's heart breath. And it's basically breathing and inhaling, exhaling, like you're inhaling and exhaling through your heart. And just a brief explanation of what that is. I put my bare hand on my bare chest, and I inhale deeply and feel it in my heart and I exhale with pursed lips like a straw and feel it in my heart and I do that over and over and over, and just try to feel the feeling as if I'm inhaling into my heart, exhaling out of my heart with my hand on my chest. Some people put it on their belly. I just do the one hand on the chest. You can do it lying down. I've done it standing up. I've done it sitting. And whenever I have a super big issue or something that's really on my mind, I do that. And I've told that to a couple people, and they call me crazy. But I can tell you that if you are present and can get to that heart breathing feeling where you're feeling almost like you're breathing into your heart and exhaling out of your heart, and just do that and be mindful and present to that feeling and just let everything else go. Some things just come to you that I can't really explain. And if anybody does it and has any experiences that they want to share, I would love to hear it. If they don't have it, I'd love to hear that too. And I just feel that it's a technique to really feel and get the feeling of just humanity and just feel you and what is important. And again, I don't do that every day. I will do it when I have big things on my mind, or if I have a problem that I'm trying to solve. I do it, and I'll do it sometimes just to calm myself down, because it's another situation where when you do any breath work, it's a calming effect. But that specifically is it helps you really get in tune with yourself and just calms you down. And the length of time isn't as important as that feeling once you get to the point where you can actually feel like you're breathing in and out of your heart. That is the feeling you're looking for. And I don't really know how to explain it other than that. That's how it feels to me. And that's the way it was explained to me. So anyway, those are the 3 to 4 breath work techniques that I use. I hope this has been informative, and I hope that you can take this and put it into your daily life, because I guarantee you it'll help you in a lot of ways. And if you do have any experiences, or if you have any questions, hit me up. It's like, this is like sports in my life. There's 2 things, sports and wellness. And I do podcasts on both of them, and they are both super important to me. And I enjoy talking about them. I enjoy listening to others people's opinions and experiences. So if you have any questions or even comments, I mean, good or bad, obviously, you know, I get beat up on these things for people that don't believe in these type of techniques to do any good for the body. But I will tell you, and I can only use my own experiences, and they have these things that I'm telling you have changed my life, and that's why I'm sharing them, and hopefully it does the same. And on that note, I really have taken up enough of your time, and I appreciate the people that have attended and the people that have commented, even though I don't think a lot of them were comments that were intended for this thing, which is just crazy when I come on here and see these comments. But as I like to end these things, please try to be kind to other people. I know that it's hard to always see other people's opinions, and and especially the political opinions that I see online just drive me up a wall. But everybody has a different viewpoint and are coming from a different point in their life, and sometimes even just acknowledging someone's presence. You don't know what they're going through. It could change their life. So don't don't take it lightly when someone says hi. I mean, say hi back. Or if they don't say hi to them. Just be kind, thank people. It only takes seconds, but sometimes you could change someone's life just by acknowledging their presence. So anyway, be kind and let's run good in life. And big game tonight. Big games for everybody, I'm sure, but I'm a Ohio State fan and looking forward to the Big Ten championship game, and a little nervous, but go Bucks. And thanks for joining me. And please go to the YouTube channel, Run Good Lifestyle, subscribe, ask some questions if you want. Tell me if there's some things that you want to hear about that I haven't discovered or that I haven't covered. And I would be happy to get back in touch with you, and look forward to my next podcast. I'll let you know when that is. And we'll be doing some follow-ups on the Run Good Lifestyle, the Sportsbook edition, once these games are over today. I'm sure that'll be coming up on Sunday. And next week's topic, I have a couple topics. If there's something on the wellness side, if there's something you want to know about or hear about, but there's some exciting things that I've just discovered, not just discovered, but I've looked into, and I am going to try out. And one of those is hydrogen, and I drink hydrogen water now. But now the breathing in of hydrogen, there's some good hard evidence about the benefits of that. So I'm looking into that, and have started actually doing it, and not sure. I have mixed feelings about it. But anyway, that's going to be a possible topic. I haven't really done a lot. I haven't done it for very long, so I don't have a lot of data on myself. So, but I'm still drinking the hydrogen water. So anyway, that could be a topic. If you have something else you'd like to hear, let me know. Thanks again, and go like and subscribe to Run Good Lifestyle on the YouTube channel. Thanks so much, everybody. Take care and go Bucks.